Tired of the silence, the sugar-coated lies. Another headline screaming behind vacant eyes. They build up their walls so high and so strong, but the truth's gonna break through before too long. Every single day, the same damn old game, pointing all the fingers, nobody takes the blame. This precious building is starting to crack. Ain't no turning back now, ain't no holding back. I'm about to say it, yeah, I'm about to scream. Tired of the fake smiles, living in a dream. The real life's bleeding out in the cold. Gotta break the mold, gotta let it unfold. I'm about to say it, every single word. The uncomfortable truth finally gonna be heard. I'm gonna say it.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Hashtag I'm Gonna Say It. Before we get started, I want to turn it over to Sister Bernice and allow her to cover us on a legal end. So, without further ado, Sister Bernice, take it away, please.
Yes. Welcome to hashtag I'm gonna say it, everybody. All things said in today's show are alleged and for entertainment and educational purposes only. If you are below the age of 18, we request you leave the live now. Enjoy, sugar.
All right, let's give it up to Sister Bernice for that. I appreciate that. Lori, thank you for the heart me bestie. I appreciate it. Look, I'm gonna go kind of fast today because I got a couple of hours before I got to dip out again and go do some more work on the other end. So let me go ahead and bring this to you all real quick. Again, I've heard nothing about the autopsy report coming out. I haven't heard anything about that. But what we listened to yesterday, we had two different people saying the same thing. And one of the people that we were listening to yesterday that was talking about him not having water. I'm sorry, I said about him. I'm sorry. About Nolan Wells not having water in his lungs. And I told you she didn't put no name or any sources that she was getting that from. Well, she has now named the medical examiner, a medical examiner. And so we'll cover that in a minute. But before we get to that, something was brought to my attention yesterday. It seems like this isn't Ocean Spring, Mississippi's first rodeo when it comes to something like this, y'all. In fact, and it's wild that I either missed it, didn't remember it, or whatever. But in any event, there was a case in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, um, and there was a young middle school girl by the name of Aubrey Wyatt, and she was being bullied in school. Her parents tried to go to the school people and tell them about it, and try to tell other people in the community what was going on. And to no avail, she got no help or anything like that. And that left Aubrey Wyatt to have to deal with this, y'all. And so it seems that in dealing with this and seeming like no one else could help solve the problem, or there was no adults that could rectify the problem for her, Aubrey Wyatt felt that the only way to bring peace or some kind of closure to this all was by self unaliving. Now, this judge, Ashley Cole, I don't think she was actually over the case. But let me tell you, when this was going on, when Aubrey's mother started to speak out and things like that, don't y'all know that the judge and the people that sit in the prominent, like prosecutors and stuff like that, they was trying to tell her mama that she needed to delete her social media accounts because it could cause problems for the kids that were making fun of and bullying her daughter. It would make it hard on them. One of the girls that was bullying Aubrey Wyatt, her father happened to be a school superintendent in a neighboring school district. And so all of this was pretty much swept under the rug. But now where Ashley Cole, who is the stepmother of the Warren guy that's involved in the Nolan Wells case, she sealed a lot of the stuff on this Aubrey Wyatt case. She covered up that situation as well. Yeah, yeah. My sis said that already. And so before we have people come in and try to discredit any of that, y'all, I just want to play a couple of things, and then I'm gonna get to the audio that we're gonna listen to as far as this young lady that we listened to yesterday finally stating who the I guess the medical examiner that she was talking about from yesterday. But let's just hear some things real quick.
Wondering, Aubrey's mother, Heather, had to, by court order, remove all of her social medias because Molly's parents, okay, are suing her for slander. Now, it's kind of funny because, I'm sorry, shouldn't Heather be the one suing that family and those children for the wrongful death of her child, considering the fact that she found the note that her child had left expressing what was going on, and those children bullied her so bad to the point that she didn't want to be here, and it's not a coincidence that one of the children's father was the superintendent of the school, who did absolutely nothing about it. And I'm honestly surprised that this is not national news. You have a group of kids that bullied another girl to the point that she didn't want to be here, and one of those kids' parents are involved in the school system. How is that not newsworthy story? I just don't understand it. Now this family has to suffer in silence and not use their voice because once again, the bullies are bullying.
So have you guys been following the case of Aubrey Wyatt? If not, she was a 13-year-old girl that went to Ocean Springs Middle School in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, and took her own life in September of 2023 after being incessantly bullied by a group of 4 girls. One of the reasons for the community's outrage is even after Aubrey's death, her bullies continued to harass her and bully her.
So do I,
Aubrey's mom, Heather, has taken to social media as an outlet to, discuss her grief and share Aubrey's legacy. And one of the topics that she speaks about often is bullying and what the detrimental consequences of bullying can lead to. Multiple pages, not Heather, but other pages that have taken the bully's information, personal information, and blasted it for the world to see. It's suspected that one of the reasons the main bully is being protected is because her father is a superintendent for a nearby district. The main bully's parents have sued Heather, and as a result, the judge has said that Heather needs to take down all of her social media accounts effective immediately for, quote, the protection of the minors in this case. I guess my question in all this is, where was Aubrey's protection? Because she asked for it for years and nobody gave it to her. Have you guys been following
that part?
We have some updates in the Aubrey Wyatt case. I know you know who Aubrey Wyatt is. I know you know her mother, Heather. Heather posts on here all the time, or used to, and let me explain why I say used to and not does, because I am furious. So Aubrey was a 13-year-old, and last September she unalived herself due to bullying.
Thank you for that heart, me sis.
In one big group. There's proof of this bullying on their cell phones on Snapchat. There's hard evidence proof that these girls bullied Aubrey. Aubrey was 13 at the time and went to Ocean Springs Middle School in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Heather has used her social media outlets for coping and grief, but she has never mentioned these girls at all on her social media. She has only mentioned bullying and awareness for bullying in general. And this is how Heather was grieving and coping with this trauma. Well, now the main bully's parents have sued Heather, and the judge has made Heather take down every single one of her social media outlets to protect the minor, even though no one was there to protect Aubrey, but Aubrey asked for protection over and over again. So now Heather does not have a voice here on social media, so we need to be the voice for Heather and Aubrey, because we need justice for Aubrey. There's been nothing done to these 4 girls, even though there's hard evidence that they're the reason that Aubrey did this to herself. The only thing that's been done is Heather's daughter has been taken away from her, and now we have some updates in the Aubrey in the middle of the night would always go
this is her mom.
Down, and she liked it colder. So when I would work out, it would already be cold. So I was like, oh, that's so weird. And so our living room and the hallway connected. So I went to go to turn the air on in the hallway, and kind of like the peripheral. I saw her, and I saw because this child already thinks she's getting her vanity. That's what she didn't pick it out for Christmas. So I was like, oh my goodness.
Sassy, you doing the right thing because we can't trust anybody in our country to actually serve justice in a just way.
Taylor had to help me cut her down. Thank God, Raker was in the far end of the house. God's blessing. He didn't hear it. He was on his iPad. Is what she did when I worked at. I was like,
Yeah, they did try to put a gag on. They did put one on her in the beginning. Her mom. Yeah, you're right. It made her. She had to scrub her social media accounts and everything.
Yeah, they think that it was about 2 a.m. It was about 10 when I found her. So I'd gotten up at 7, did everything, started that. Like now, 45 to 10. And when they got there, she had posted.
Oh, Chris, yeah, it's beyond heartbreaking.
She had 2 videos. It was a song that said, "No, it's for the better," and it was her crying.
I'm sorry, she's playing. They're playing music over her.
So it was a couple hours before she did.
And then they're showing images of Aubrey. Let's go to her sister, though. Hold up.
I just want to clear some things up. Not that I owe anyone an explanation, but I want to clear some things up. First, I want to say this. Someone, I'm not going to say names because y'all already know who I'm talking about, but posting about a 16-year-old minor, even if you didn't say it and somebody else said it and you screenshotted it and posted on your platform that you buy followers on, is embarrassing for you, especially because you're so against it. Secondly, the halls. Okay, I've seen people talk about it. I've seen the videos and like the comments. Oh my gosh, like they're using the Aubrey Wyatt Foundation money to to like buy all of these things.
And he said, my son was lured by his classmates and murdered. Alan Davis case. Oh my God, that is so sad to hear. Listen, I'm going to look that up too. I'm going to look that up. And I hate that. And if there's anything we can do, let us know here.
Always done that for us because
oh my gosh.
Furthermore, I'm now in a position where
what state are you in, if you don't mind? Saying it.
I know that people find them entertaining to watch.
Just state. You don't got to put
just scroll.
Nothing else.
Two, I really want to clear this one up. People are saying that I don't care about my sister's passing because Bailey cried harder at her grave at the 1-year mark of my sister's passing. You guys saw what was posted on social media, which was not all day. Y'all didn't see the morning. Y'all didn't see the night. Y'all didn't get a 24-hour live stream of how my day went. Y'all, there weren't cameras on me 24/7. Following that statement, me playing with the kids and bringing light of the situation is something that brings me happiness in the midst of everything going on because I put my feelings to the side so that I can make sure that everyone's okay. And I've stated this before, but that's just who I am and that's the type of person that I am. So I'm going to make sure everyone around me is okay. And I'm going to put a smile on my face no matter what I'm going through, no matter what feelings I'm going through so that I can make sure everyone else is okay. So.
All right. I brought that up for a couple of reasons. Yesterday, we had people, like I said, people were saying, well, you know, Nolan's mama is laughing, and how is she laughing after she just lost her son? And I you know, I'm not gonna lie, I had taken offense to that because that ain't the what we need to be focused on is what happened to her son. And then last night, in the middle of the night, they were talking about her nationality. Is she Filipino? Is she black? Is she don't identify? None of that has nothing to do with finding out what really happened to her son. So I wanted to play, and let's pray for that Wyatt family too, the Wyatt family. But I wanted to play Aubrey Wyatt's sister because people are coming at her because she wasn't crying at the funeral of her sister. That doesn't mean that she wasn't hurt just because she wasn't crying at the funeral. You understand? So I wanted to play that because it seems like some people lose track of what's really important. Now, to put a bow on this, another reason I brought this particular incident up is because these we're going to take race out of it. These are YT people. But it's to show you that if Ocean Springs can do their own people this way, then you should understand why we are worried about Nolan Wells getting a fair investigation. You understand? So even in taking the race out of it, what I'm presenting to you is that it's still corruption amongst the people that are in position to serve justice in Ocean Springs. It's corruption, the same as we have in Collin County, Texas, when it comes to Carmelo Anthony. This is something that needs to be looked at or understood, that these people, that just because somebody comes back with a verdict or something or anything doesn't mean that it's the right way or it's the correct judgment on someone. Just because one of the bullies, their dad was a superintendent at another school district and was connected with the people in Ocean Springs, they swept this under the rug and they didn't take the bullying serious. And okay, by them not addressing the bullying issue, we now have a young life that's no longer here because she felt that that was the only way to get help, was to unalive herself. And this is what these people do. All right. Now let me get on to the story. We're gonna, like I said, the lady finally mentions uh, the medical examiner that she's talking about. And let me tell you, when it comes to this Nolan Wells case, it even got scarier, y'all. No, no. See, here it is. It's saying that. Listen, no, it's already trying to flag me, y'all. You see what I'm saying? No, no, we're not going for that. But anyways, okay, it got scarier, y'all. How did it get scarier, Mr. Breaking News G Smooth? It got scarier because now you have the FBI saying that they want to take over the case or start working on Nolan Wells' case. Y'all, the leader, the head of the FBI, Kashat Patel, is a former podcaster. Even with my 1 year of criminal justice in college, I'm not qualified for that job. And so we know he's not qualified for this job. But yet, here he is wanting to take over the Nolan Wells case. This is a guy who is notorious for going on drinking binges, notorious for using government um, cars and stuff like planes and stuff like that to try to woo or woe or whatever his girlfriend. He's a podcaster, y'all. I don't want him anywhere near this case. And when we talk about the medical examiner, y'all, let's talk about the medical. Do you not know that they said that in the state of Mississippi, as long as you have a high school diploma or a GED and you take a couple of classes and make good grades, then you can be a medical examiner? So now you are entrusting someone who has no Scientology experience to rule how someone passed away. All they need is a high school diploma or a GED. Y'all, that is a concoction for trouble. You get me? But now, Honey Static Media is going to not only put out the name of the medical examiner, she's also showing the picture here on the screen. So let's go ahead. Like I said, I know I gotta get going. But here, we're gonna play it. So normally we play it in 10 minutes. I'm gonna run it in 15, all right, y'all, only because we gotta keep it moving. All right. And I'm sorry that I'm having to rush through this and not bring it to you, but we here. Share out the live, double tap that screen, gift and uplift if possible. All right, let's get it.
When I tell you, that I sat with this story, I've been
Oh, it's from
sitting with this
Mississippi too.
story for
Okay.
some time, y'all. Y'all can be a witness to me sitting with this story. And before I can even press record,
Yeah.
because I keep reading it.
That's crazy.
And
We hadn't heard of it.
keep rereading it. And every time I read it, something new jumps
Man,
out at
Denise,
me
my heart hurt
that
for
makes
you,
me
girl.
want to throw my whole phone through the wall. And I don't throw phones, sweetheart. I'm not that
Yes, we
girl.
will. Yes,
But
we will.
Nolan Wells, this right here,
As long as we got your
Nolan
permission to cover it,
Wells was a teenager.
I have no problem.
A baby, somebody's son. And he went to Horn Island, which, by the way, is federal land, which is why we're going to talk about why the FBI is stepping in. He went to this island with a boat full of white teenagers in Mississippi.
Denise, would you like to be the guest on the show tomorrow?
When I tell you that Mississippi has the most lynching of any state in America, do you guys know that? Press 5 if you know that Mississippi has the most lynching in any state in America. Do you know what that means, baby?
Educational
That
purposes,
means
TikTok.
it's a lot of
Keep your
white
flag in
people
your
that have
pocket.
a lot of dislike and love to lynch black folks. Do you know what's going on in America, baby? We just had 250 white supremacists walk on the White House and nobody
That's
stopped
facts,
them.
TikTok.
And
You can't
they
get
had
mad.
their mask on. They were your lawyers, your doctors, your people in the TMZ, the people in the media. Okay? They are here to take a stand. They are here. They got a plan to take over. And you know Mississippi is the heart of that. And you got all these white boys, and you know the white supremacists,
You got that right,
they are
Grammy.
after young white boys. They are after young white men. Do y'all know this? Okay, that is who they want to recruit, the young white boys. The same boys Nolan was hanging out with. Now, when they have the all white meeting, you know
Agreed,
Nolan is
Denise.
not invited because he's not one of
1,000%
them.
agreed.
Okay, let's get that through y'all head. And they gotta do the rituals, okay? They do have rituals. The whites, they do have rituals. So let me tell you, 93% of those
Coco
lynchings
in the
were black
building.
people.
What's up, bestie?
Yeah. And we supposed to believe that in 2026, a black teenager goes to a remote island with white friends and just drowns. No, I'm not believing that. Press 7 if you're not believing that either. Okay? And the medical examiner, can we talk about Dr. Tracy, the lady you see? The medical examiner for the state of Mississippi.
Hold on, y'all. You know what well, you might not be able to see it. I'm gonna try though. I'm gonna try to get it. I'm in the bubble today, but I'm gonna try to get it for y'all. If it works. All right. Let me see if I can pull that up for you. Okay. I'm gonna try to put it in the bubble. Her. That one right there. That's what she's talking about. Okay.
She looked at that baby on her slab and said, drowning, accidental drowning, just like that. Just like that. Just like she looked at Trey Reed, the Delta State student allegedly hung, and I can't say it, but hung from the tree. Body got bruised and battered. And do you know what she said? She said, "Oh, Trey did this to himself. It's suicidal." Yeah, that's what she.
And remember, y'all, Trey's arm after the second autopsy, his shoulder was broken, so he couldn't have done it himself. But that's what her conclusion was.
She put it as, just like she looked at Damien, 29-year-old, okay, Rankins County Sheriff Department, kneeling on his neck for over 10 minutes, internal neck bleeding, swollen face, severe trauma, and you know what she said? His death was undetermined. Damn.
Monique Black,
undetermined,
thank you for the
because
love
she
you
didn't
so
have
much. I love you so
access
much,
to
girl.
information.
Thank
The
you.
information that three independent national pathologists looked at and said, this is a homicide. This is a homicide. This is a homicide. But Tracy, because honey, she couldn't find it in her heart. She couldn't find it in
Do we
her
have your
training.
permission, Denise?
She couldn't find it in her. I don't even know what to call it anymore. Her soul. Does she even have one? And now, after the family have been screaming for justice, y'all, after Black
Facts,
social
Grammy.
media has been doing the detective work
That's right,
that the
Chrissy.
police refuse to do,
Christy.
after
Sorry.
the timeline of Nolan's so-called friends have fallen apart like wet tissue paper, now Trump's mega FBI wants to step in. Woo! Step in, y'all. Do y'all trust that?
No.
Press 4 if you do not trust Trump's mega FBI. I don't trust them, y'all, because you already know what they're going to do. You already know what Trump time it on, okay? You already know what mega time it on, okay? And when I tell you that comment section under every single video about this case is screaming the same way, Cash Patel, FBI, do y'all trust Cash Patel? Cash Patel, FBI, oh Lord. The FBI is not coming to help with anything other than to continue to cover up the bull crap, right? That's all they're going to do is to cover up. That sheriff isn't to be trusted. You can't trust that sheriff. I have zero faith in the FBI under the current administration. And I feel that exact same way. Press a 7 if you feel that same way. And I tell you, all these people are right, y'all. They are right. Because here's what we know about this FBI. The same FBI that is currently being gutted from the inside. The same FBI that is being run by people who have made it their mission to protect white supremacy. The same FBI that couldn't even solve the Epstein files. What are we talking about? That FBI is now investigating what happened to Nolan Wells? Come on now. Hashtag cover up. That's what they're doing. They're doing this to cover this up. God. And I need y'all to understand something. I need you to understand this. The FBI didn't step in because they care about Nolan. Is that what y'all thinking? Do y'all really think the FBI care about Nolan?
Nope.
They didn't step in because they want justice. They stepped in because Horn Island is federal land. That's it. That's the only reason. Federal jurisdiction. Not moral, not justice, but federal. And now they get to control the narrative. Damn. Now they get to control the evidence.
Jack.
Damn. Now they get to tell us what really happened. And we're supposed to believe them because they have 3 letters in front of their name. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. I don't believe them.
All right.
I don't believe the sheriff.
What's the payout on that?
Who went on live television and said no foul play before the autopsy was even complete. Before the autopsy was even complete. How are you going to tell me there's no foul play when you haven't even looked at the body yet? Unless you already know what you want that body to say. And that's Mississippi script. That's the script they've been running for decades, for centuries. The same script that had Emmett Till's killers walking free. The same script that had McGagger Evers killer not convicted until 30 years later. The same script that has Black people disappearing in Mississippi. And I mean literally disappearing. Buried in prison cemeteries without their families even knowing. And nobody asks questions. Dexter Wade, 2023, hit and killed by a police car. buried without his family even being notified. And the coroner said they couldn't identify him.
Right,
When they
Coco?
finally dug
Let her
him up,
cook. Let her cook.
fully clothed, ideas in his pocket, and over 200 other unidentified people buried at that same prison cemetery. 200, y'all. And when I tell you that Mississippi is still lynching black people, they just changed the method. That's all that is. They don't need ropes no more. They need coroners. They need medical examiners. They need people like Dr. Tracy Turner to look at a body with internal neck bleeding and say undetermined. To look at a body that's not even waterlogged and say drowning. Okay? A 13-year-old child, Shannon Wilson, 13-year-old, allegedly pushed into a lake by his white
Those
friends.
just coming in. This is the medical
right?
examiner she's talking about.
Without the family permission, and they embalmed that child. They embalmed him without the family's permission, destroying any evidence
Crazy.
that could have proven his case. Ain't that something? 13. He was 13, and they took his body and they washed it clean of evidence before his mama could even say goodbye properly, before she could even look at him and say, that's not how I sent him out. That's not what happened to my baby. And Dr. Tracy Turner, she's still employed, still doing autopsies, still looking at black bodies on her lab and finding every reason under the sun to call it anything but what it is.
Kind of creation.
So let's talk about Nolan. Let's really talk about him because the details are what break you. Nolan Wales went to Horn Island for the 4th of July, remote island, federal land. He's on a boat with white teenagers. He's the only black one. And I need to say this, and I need y'all to hear me. And I'm not blaming Nolan's father. And I'm not blaming any parents for trusting their child could go on a trip with friends. But what I am saying is, we have got to start having different conversations with our kids about what friends means when you're the only one.
Coco says some of those
When
who
you're the
work
only
forces
black face in a sea of
are
white
the same
faces
ones
on a
who-
remote
Oh.
island in Mississippi, where
Oh.
93% of lynchings
That's
were
true.
black people.
You're
We
not
gotta
lying.
have a different conversation.
You are not lying about that, Coco.
Because Nolan's father, he said something that broke me. He said he always told his kids, if you go somewhere with someone, you come back with them, no matter what. Don't let a girl separate you from your safety net.
Facts.
And when those
That's the number
friends
one rule.
came back, and the first thing out their mouth was,
Not at all, Coco.
Nolan stayed
This
behind
real spill
to talk
right there.
to a girl. The father said that automatically turned him off because he knew his son. He knew
Hold on, let me
Nolan
turn
would
this
never do nothing like
ringer
that.
down.
Wouldn't separate from the group, wouldn't stay behind on a remote island by himself. And then the red flags started stacking up like a deck of cards, y'all. Red flag number 1, Nolan didn't have his phone. If he voluntarily stayed behind, why didn't he have his phone? What teenager in 2026 leave their phone anywhere? Especially if they're about to be stranded on a damn island by themselves. Red flag number 2, the timeline. The friends say they last saw Nolan at 3 p.m., but independent witness, documented that Nolan was still alive with others as late as 4 p.m. And then there's a screenshot from one of young men's moms in the Facebook DM saying the group last saw Nolan around 5 p.m. when they were trying to get him to board the boat. So which one is it? 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Because if they left at 4:30 p.m., which is what they're saying, and they last saw him at 3 p.m., that means they spent an hour and a half on an island after last seeing him. In an hour and a half and never contacted him again, never checked on him, never made sure he was okay. Or does it make more sense the last time they saw him when they left happened
Oh,
at
Grammy,
the
that's why
same
you made
time?
that comment earlier.
When they
Okay.
left happened at the same time.
All right, we're gonna pause it right there because we just a little over our first 15 minutes. Okay, now I see why you made that comment earlier, Grammy. I didn't say nothing, girl. I didn't really know how to come at that. Uh, and I was trying to gauge if you was being funny, like a chaos agent, or were you genuinely saying that? And okay, I see that you was genuinely saying that. I have to pay attention to that. Um, I didn't. So I have to. Oh, oh. All I had to do, Grammy, was look left at the computer screen, and I see. Yeah, he do have his hand on Nolan's. Yeah, Grammy. No, no, no. You ain't trying to be funny at all. I'm looking dead at it. I owe you an apology. I'm looking straight at it. And I've taken pictures with several guys, wrestling and football and basketball. We ain't never did that, but I apologize because, like I said, I didn't know, but that's why I didn't respond. I didn't want to assume. You are right about it. His, in the words of Little John, in the hell is going on. That's highly uncomfortable. I agree. Um, here's the thing. If there's more to it, I think that's something that's valid enough that should be mentioned or brought up. I think your name is Nuriel. I think I pronounced it right. If I didn't, I apologize. They were homosexual. Okay, and that's cool. So that's what I'm saying. So if that is indeed the case, see, that's important. That's pertinent information when you're doing an investigation. Well, when you're really trying to do an investigation, that's pertinent information because now it could easily be a lover's quarrel. You see what I'm saying? Now we could possibly have a motive. What if they were in a relationship and y'all, hey, the people that's listening in the hallway or just coming in, listen to what I'm saying. We're just saying if allegedly, all right, if that is indeed the case that they are that way, that could lead to the motive of why what happened. No stone can be left unturned when you're doing an investigation, a proper and thorough and fair investigation. All right. Now, Grammy said something earlier, and I really didn't know where that came from because I had never paid attention. I'd never, as many times as I've seen that picture, I've never seen the picture. And by the way, I'm getting tired of the media blurring out the three white T guys that's on the boat with him. Stop blurring out their face. Because if this BLK, their face would be all over there. Let's keep the main thing the main thing. But I have seen this picture several times, and I never saw that. And now when it's brought up, and I'm like, well, yeah, I have to go look at the picture again, and the picture's right here in front of me. And as soon as I turn left, his hand is on Nolan's lower thigh knee area. Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Right, Trina. Yeah, is the thigh. Yeah, the thigh knee area. Yeah, that definitely not. Put it like this. I don't. Okay, let me start over because some people like literal stuff. They take the stuff literal. So let me put it this way: the guys that I hang out with would never allow that to happen. Myself, I would never allow my friend to have his hand on my leg like that. There's no point. You got all your space. Why you need mine? Hey, Coco, baby girl, that's what I'm saying. Like, listen, I didn't see that till now. That is interesting. That's a twist that I never saw. And again, I'm just saying if. We're saying if. We're just saying if. We're saying that that's something that should be looked at. And to be honest, y'all, we're gonna say this and we gotta get back to the audio because we're short on time. To be honest, y'all, when you're doing an investigation like this, you actually try to go back at least 48 hours. And you question anybody that was in contact with the victim. You go to places that you know they was at. Okay, so we know they was on the island. Okay, we know they had to dock a boat somewhere. Do they have cameras there? Who all got on the boat? When they came back, that's gonna tell us what time they came back. Who was on the boat when it left out? Who was on the boat when it came back? All of these things is typically what they would do in a proper investigation. Phones would have already been subpoenaed. You would have got phones up. You would have been everybody's phone that was around because now you need to see if there's any type of interaction. Maybe they were plotting something. Maybe they was planning something. Maybe somebody sent a text that they thought wasn't that important, but it was actually, important to the case. And I'm not saying that they haven't done that. What I'm saying is it seems like it's haphazard. It's like there's not a sense of urgency to do it, is what I'm saying. Right, sis? Interviews, everybody, separately. Separately. And then we got to come together, different detectives come together and they put their notes together and they compare. Okay, well, no, so and so said this, and then, well, he said this right here. Well, how did they get this wrong if it was over here? So if somebody's lying between, you see what I'm saying? It goes to like we was talking about the other day when people hopped on here and they feelings. You gotta put you gotta listen to everybody. You gotta look at everything and then you gotta try to put it together. We had people in here so mad, didn't we, Lord? They were so mad. And we kept telling them, man, fuck y'all feelings. I even told them, man, fuck your feelings, we'll wear a condom. While doing so. Like, come on, man. Like, you don't, everybody's just trying, at the end of the day, people with good sense, people that have humanity, just want justice. That's it. Oh, do you think it's race? You think racism got something to do with it? Do you live in America? At what point did racism not have nothing to do with something? A whole system was implemented to oppress minorities. So at what point does racism not have anything to do with anything in America? Yeah, since in Mississippi too, I know, right? Like, come on, like, y'all, it's Mississippi. They ain't even paid for Emmett Till yet. They ain't paid Mega Evers, plenty of others. Come and then had the nerve to say, "Do you think race has something to do with it?" And my question to that, well, if you think race don't have nothing to do with it, I think you are the problem. I'm pretty sure you are. Matter of fact, I just got off the phone about an appearance at a wrestling show. I give you my whole pay from that. If you think that race don't have nothing to do with it. All right? Okay, y'all, we're gonna get into the second 15 minutes.
That they left him there, that they abandoned him, that something happened between 4 to 5 that they don't want to talk about. Something something happened. You know, it was a fight going on around that time. Something happened. Red flag number 3, the sheriff. This man went on live television before the autopsy was even complete and said no foul play before the autopsy was complete. How? How do you know there's no foul play when you haven't even examined the body? Unless you're not examining the body to find the truth, you're examining the body to confirm what you already decided the truth was. And then he has the absolute nerve to say, we don't respond to rumors. We respond to facts. Well, Sheriff, here are some facts for you. Your department hasn't contacted Nolan family since last Tuesday.
Right,
That's a fact. Benjamin Crump, their attorney, had to go on the griot and
Thank you,
say
baby
that
girl. I
out loud.
appreciate that.
We have not heard from our local authorities since last Tuesday. We received a phone call, basically, really no updates. That's what it was. That's your thorough investigation. That's your commitment to justice. You can't even call the family back? Red flag number 4, the body, the coroner, not Dr. Turner on this one.
She didn't say 4. She didn't say red flag number 4. She said number 4. When you hear somebody number 4, that means they about to get to some business, bro. They about to get to some business on you, man. She said red flag number 4.
But Jackson County
It's
Coroner
about to
Bruce
go down.
told CNN there were no
Right, sis, that's that
immediate
business, right?
signs of physical injury. But then,
Who needs the other 2 letters?
then why did they need a dental record to identify him? No physical injuries, but you couldn't identify him by looking at him. You needed his teeth. And the Navy, the people who actually helped search for his baby, they said his body did not appear waterlogged. Yeah. And that's where we got this information from the Cajun Navy. When the Cajun Navy went out and helped search, they said his body does not appear waterlogged. A lot of people want to know, well, how can you say it was no water in the lungs if the autopsy wasn't complete? Because the Cajun Navy, who have done with these cases plenty of times, they already said the body does not appear waterlogged. A drowning victim whose body isn't waterlogged. Hello? Red flag. That means that he was dead before he got into the water.
That's like saying the sun don't give off light. You see what I'm saying? That like, and this is what leads us to believe it's a cover up, y'all. It's they don't even make stupid sense in the lie. Like the lies is horrifically bad. And if you didn't do nothing wrong, this isn't something you would even try to lie about. Y'all understand that?
When I tell you that I had to read that 3 times to make sure I was reading it right, y'all. Drowning
Nolan was
in
an
the
excellent
ocean
swimmer, though,
for 2 days, and the
coach
body
said
wasn't
that, too.
waterlogged. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, because I can't make it make sense unless he didn't drown, unless he was already dead when he hit that water, unless something happened on that island or on that boat that they're not telling us. Red flag number 5.
Tater says some panels have said over and over he couldn't
still not
swim.
released.
Yeah.
10 days.
We had
10
people in our
days,
group said
no
too.
autopsy results.
But the coach said he
They're
would have a
saying
hard time
several
believing
weeks
that.
for the
I guess he knows the
toxinology
family.
report
I don't
from
know.
outside the laboratories. Several weeks in case where every moment matters, where every evidence degrades. where stories get coordinated. You understand what I'm saying? Where phones get swiped. Look, we know phones got swiped. We know that from the comments, from the community detective work, that there are photos, pictures, and messages that has been deleted. That parents have phones in their hands with evidence gone. Flag number 6. Flag number 6, the FBI. Trump's mega FBI, Cash Patel FBI, the same FBI that has been systematically
That part, Grammy.
purged of anyone who might
said
actually
a picture's
care
worth 1,000
about civil
words.
rights. They don't like Ben Crump and Al Sharpton and them. They hate them. The same FBI that couldn't find its own ass with both hands and a flashlight when it came to the goddamn Epstein files.
And let's also remember when we had the CK pew pewing. Remember in the beginning they had the wrong guy. You know, and then Cash Patel, they said Cash Patel wouldn't get out of the van to even do no work until he had a jacket that had the right patches on it to prove his rank in the FBI. This is a podcaster, y'all. This is a podcaster. What's the show? Hey, Rudy, what's that show you watch? That cartoon you watch where the girl is the detective? Yep, that's it. Thank you, baby. Mirror, the royal detective would do better than Cash Patel. Shout out to Mirror. But come on, man.
They're stepping in the comment section, my people, the gutter rats, the ones who's been through the bullshit and can smell it from a mile away, they're not celebrating. They're not relieved. They're saying what I'm saying. What you should be saying. FBI stepping in to help cover this shit up. The sheriff isn't to be trusted. We supposed to believe the FBI, Cash Patel FBI. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lordy. Because we know what this looks like. We've seen this movie before, y'all. The FBI doesn't step in to help Black people. They step in to control the narrative, to bury the evidence under federal, jurisdiction, to tell us, to trust us. That's what they want you to do. They're going to tell us to trust them, that they're the professionals, okay? While the professionals have been lying to us for 400 years. And here's a part that really gets me, honey. One of the kids on that boat, one of Nolan's so-called friend, his father allegedly, and damn FBI agent, y'all. Damn. Yeah. So you got one child, parent is a judge, and you got the other one that's an FBI agent. Damn. So the FBI agent is investigating a case where one of their own child is a witness, a potential suspect, a person of interest, and we're supposed to believe that's impartial, that's fair, that's justice. Nah, miss me with that. Miss me with all of that, okay?
1 minute, y'all.
But I need to take y'all back because Nolan Wells is not an isolated incident.
Hello, how you doing?
Nolan Wells is a pattern.
Good.
Nolan Wells is a system. And at the center of that system, is Dr. Tracy Turner. Dr. Tracy Turner, Sheriff Medical Examiner, Mississippi. And I want you to understand what her job is supposed to be.
Good. All right.
Her job is supposed to be
I'll be up there
truth.
later on then.
Her job is supposed to be science. Her job is supposed to be looking at a dead body and telling the family, the police, the courts, the world, what happened.
Yeah, thank you.
But Dr. Tracy Turner has never, and I mean never, based on every case we could find, called the death of a Black person, honey, not when police were involved, not when the circumstances are suspect, not when the body is telling a different story than the official narrative. Okay? Nolan Wells, drowning, accidental. That's what she ruled it as. Trey Reeds, she said he's sooty-sidey, despite the bruises and the battery all over his body, despite the fact that the hanging doesn't usually leave you looking like you went 10 rounds with Michael Tyson, because he was beat up and they hung him from a tree. But she said it's Sootie side. He did this to himself. That's what she said, a black guy. And Damien, undetermined. That's what she said. Despite the deputies kneeling on his neck for 10 minutes, despite internal neck bleeding, despite a swollen face, despite several trauma, 3 independent pathologists said it was a homicide that the police did. But Dr. Tracy said undetermined. And you know how they feel about George Floyd.
Diploma,
they
the
said
GED,
George Floyd did that to himself.
Medical examiner get you.
That's the same way FBI feel about George Floyd. That's the same way
I know,
Trump
right,
feel
Coco?
about
That name,
Floyd, that he did it to himself.
That wordplay.
So
for
what
real.
do y'all think they're gonna do in this Nolan's case? They're gonna cover it up and make it seem like Nolan did this to himself. It's the same pattern. Ooh, do y'all hear what I'm saying? Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Okay? I need y'all to understand something. This is what
Fuzzy,
law
what are you
and
here
order
for?
looks like.
She know how to say
only
it
for white people.
She can't say it because
this is what
y'all getting y'all feelings
back
on
the
these
blue
platforms.
looks like when the blue is unaliving black
Thank
people
you, sis.
and the corners are covering it up. That's what make America great again. Looks.
Y'all, we got our first invitee of the day. What do you know? What do you know? I didn't even think to have it queued up. But that's okay. That's okay. It ain't nothing but a couple of clicks. It ain't nothing but a couple of clicks, y'all. It ain't nothing but a couple of clicks, y'all. We got it. We got it. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Where we at? There we go. Let's get it. You walking into the seat? A whole lot of money. Okay. Yo, Walker. What's going on? Hey, hey, it's a. Okay, okay, okay. That's right. I know. But what we doing, Walker? Okay. Yeah. ATL, shout. That's what we do here, man. Listen. We ain't got no problem putting foot to ass. Got no problem. All right. And then, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I am going to have it queued up just in case we got some more coming. The weather's great outside. It's a great day for a party. And we almost finished, though, yo. We almost made it through, though. But nonetheless, back to work.
It's like when again means 1955 Mississippi, 1963 Mississippi, 2026 Mississippi. And you want to talk about corruption? This is corruption.
Hello?
You want to talk about rigged system? This is rigged. You want to talk about deep state? The deep state is the medical examiner who has been covering up black deaths for years, and nobody,
I don't care,
nobody
man.
in power has stopped her because they all encourage her to do the shit that she's doing. So where's the outrage? Where's the drain the swamp? We're tired of being lied to institutions. I'll wait.
That's on you.
I'll wait because I know the damn answer. The answer is you don't care. You don't care because it's not your child. You don't care because it's not your community. You don't care because in your mind, Mississippi is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Keep black people in their place, even if their place is in the damn grave. And that's why I just don't trust your FBI. That's why I don't trust the sheriff in Mississippi. That's why I don't trust the coroner in Mississippi, because they're not working for justice. They're working for the same system that has been working against us since we got off the goddamn boats. Okay. And honey, when I'm looking out here and seeing the comments section, the comments from real people, from people who have lived this, who have buried family members under suspicious circumstances, who have been told it was just an accident or it's undetermined or the person sooty sidey, when they know it was a damn murder. Those comments are the only ones I trust that I see right now. And some of them went, every case she has ever done needs to be investigated. Talking about this Tracy lady on the screen. She needs to lose her job and be locked up. She has been following the Mississippi script for too long. They clearly let her know what the outcome is to be. Street justice is the only way. Oh, Lord. And I don't. I don't advocate for violence. I don't. Because I understand why people say that. I understand why. After generations of justice that never comes, after watching killer after killer walk free, after watching the corner after the corner lie and lie and lie and lie and lie, I understand why people start talking about street justice. Because street is the only place that hasn't been bought. The street is the only place where people still remember. The street is the only place where Nolan Wells' name won't be forgotten. So let's talk about this FBI investigation, because I need y'all to understand all of it. The cover-up works in 2026. It's not like the old days. It's not like a smoke.
We got another one, y'all. Who is that? Mr. Sam Ford. Yeah. You would go back there in that corner. That is the VIP section. Or the hashtag, I'm going to say, a block party. All right. Here, we like to give you your entrance songs as you find your seat. Welcome to the hashtag, I'm going to say it, block party Sam Ford. And as you can see, once you pick your seat out, once you got your seat and you're seated, we bring two complimentary shut the fuck ups for you. That's our party favor for you right there. I would say you can come back in later, but you can't. You can't. Because you didn't get enough hugs when you was little, so you don't know how to act. You need attention. And we don't do that here. It doesn't say babysitter nowhere. All right? So you enjoy that block parties, and we'll see you in Neverwary.
Room with men in white hoods. Let's be clear. Some of them still wear the damn hoods. They just changed the uniform. In 2026, a cover-up looks like a federal involvement. It looks like we're taking this serious. It looks like press conferences. We're not going to be pressured to rush our investigation. Sheriff said, we're not going to be pressured to rush our investigation. As if the family asking for answers is pressure. That's not pressure. If Black social media demanding justice is pressure, as if 10 days with no autopsy results, no contact with the family, no transparency, as if that is thorough, anything less would be rushed.
All right, we had our second 15 minutes. And see, this is what I'm saying right here, y'all. This is what makes people believe and leads us all to believe that there's a cover up, that people are lying. Because when the simple actions that should be taken if you were doing a proper and thorough and just investigation aren't being taken. So that makes us have to go down this path right here, in addition to knowing Mississippi and its history. But this is why we say that. This is what brings us to this conclusion. And she's right. Why do the parents have to go out and track down the phone and do things like these? If you're doing a real investigation, These are things that the sheriff should have already put his men on. They should have already went to these people houses that were known to be with Nolan last and had already had warrants to secure phones, search houses, everything. But then you dragging it out. You don't want the autopsy or whatnot. Well, but I mean, she's exposing it now. But they got to go and do a private autopsy. The family do because they can't trust the state of Mississippi, and I think with grand reason. They have proven the state of Mississippi has proven that they cannot be trusted. Y'all might have been late to the party, but we covered we talked about Aubrey Wyatt, and she's YT, and they try to cover that up. So if they don't care about their own, how what would Nolan's parents look like sitting there believing that they were going to do right by their child? Coco said, "Can they even do a private autopsy after he was involved?" I don't. That's a good question. I'm not sure. I just know his body. It was a delay, but his body is flown to Washington D.C. already. It was I think some inclement weather or something was going on that delayed his body getting there, and because I think we were supposed to have it by the 10th, but because of the delay is why we don't have it now. But the body is flown to Washington. That's a very good question, Coco. I'm not sure. Um, Hopefully, prayfully they can because we need answers and we need somebody who's going to give just answers, not just a cover up for a corrupt system. Because again, like I said, this shows you once again that these people breaking news and the family. Hold on one second, y'all. Let's see what this is about. That people that sit in these places of authority in these small communities and stuff, they finesse evidence. They be finessing the evidence, man, and then we don't ever get the proper things. So I would like somebody who don't have a you know a dog in the fight to just say, look, this is what it is. This is my job. I'm just doing what I'm doing, you know, and go from there. They ain't gotta please nobody. They ain't gotta cover up nobody. They ain't gotta worry about nobody, coming to threaten them or their family because they told the truth. So I hope that we get answers with this right here. We deserve it. They don't want nobody spreading misinformation, and rightfully so. But at the same time, if you're not being transparent, this is people they're left to have to come up with assumptions or at least state what they see and their opinion on the case. And that's not right or wrong, really, if that's all they got to go on. It's an opinion. They're saying how they see something. Now, if you looking at the same thing and you see it differently, it's not wrong for you to say, "Hey, well, now I see it this way." And again, like we say here, as long as you can do that in a mature manner, I think everything is good. You come in here, y'all, no, we finna get right to the door. And sometimes we won't even open up the door, throwing you out. Just throw you right on through that thing. Grammy said, I think Nolan was a free spirited person and paid the cost for being so. I think that's an accurate analysis. Coco said misinformation, just not following their narrative. That part. That part. People get upset when you don't. You know, like you're not supposed to use your good intelligent mind on stuff like this. They want you to believe that the world is a good place, it's a safe place, it's a true place and stuff like that. But at the same time, these come from people who don't even have a clue how it is to live as a minority in the United States. They ain't never had no type of pressure put on them. They ain't never had to worry about nothing. So the lens that they see it from, they hadn't had to touch a hard time. They hadn't had to touch injustice before. So So how you know? I think we could bridge this gap, and I got to get back to it and play this so we can close it out. But you know, I often say when it comes to stuff like that, if people would do more listening to those who have had to go through that and experience that, if you just listen and then try, and I mean listen to actually come up with a solution, not listen to actually combat that and try to ignore it or sweep it under the rug or deny the fact that it exists. If you just listen and try to come up with a solution together, man, as I said before, we would be unfuckwittable. They wouldn't be able to stop us as a unit. Yeah, yeah. Some people just feel like because they got the same skin pigmentation, man, that you know they in the game. No, they don't care about you neither. You're not in the right financial bracket. Okay, so let's stop. Let's just that's why here on our platform we for everybody. We for we don't care what nationality you are. We don't care what race you are. And we don't care what you do in your bedroom and who you do it with. That's you. This is a safe space, judgment free. We love on everybody until you give us a reason not to love you. And if you give us a reason not to love you, that's on you. That ain't got nothing to do with us. So until people get to that point, it's gonna always be an issue. I've been in several circles where we talk about stuff like that, and they say, "Well, they'll get it when it comes to their door. Then they'll recognize it." Well, like I said before, then it's too late. Then why would you want to wait for it to come to your doorstep when we trying to prevent you the time and tell you that it's going on? Let's be proactive right now. Why you gotta wait for it to come to your door? Because now when it comes to your door and you looking for sympathy, we're gonna be looking at you sideways like we try to tell you. What you want a hug now? No, man. I'm not gonna do that. All right. Okay. Let's go to our last 15 minutes.
And then he says the FBI is involved and other agencies, and they're doing interviews and they're looking at facts, not rumors. But here's what he did not say. He didn't say why the FBI is involved. He didn't say that Horn Island is federal land, which means that FBI has jurisdiction whether they want to investigate or not. He didn't say that federal involvement means federal control over evidence, federal control over the narrative, federal control over what gets released and what gets buried. He didn't say that this FBI, the Cash Patel FBI, Trump's FBI, the FBI that has been purging anyone who might actually give a damn about civil rights. He didn't say that this FBI has vested interest in making sure this case goes away quietly. Because here's the thing about federal jurisdiction. Once the feds take over, local accountability goes out the window. The family can't FOIA the same. The local press can't access the same records. The community can't pressure the same officials. It all gets swallowed up into a black hole of ongoing federal
Sure did, sis.
investigation that lasts for years and ends up with insignificant evidence to prosecute. And I've seen this before. We've all seen this before. The FBI investigates police killings, finds nothing. The FBI investigates hate crimes and find nothing. The FBI investigates and investigates and investigates until the public moves on, until the family is exhausted, until the next tragedy takes the headlines. And then it's over. Case closed. No charges, no justice. just another black body in the ground and another medical examiner who gets to keep her job. And the comments know it. The gutter rats know it. This FBI getting involved is alarming. It doesn't soothe anybody. We're supposed to believe the FBI. The FBI, yeah, that doesn't make us have any more faith. Are they there to help cover it up? That's what one person said. Another one that broke me said the FBI has joined to add momentum to the cover up. Kash Patel, who reports to Trump, is definitely not trying to solve this case. And I don't know if that's true. I don't know what the FBI is going to do, but I know what they've done. I know what they've always done. I know that the FBI was founded by J. Edgar Hoover, who tried to destroy Martin Luther King Jr. I know that the FBI surveilled the black activists, the black leaders, the black organization for decades. I know that the FBI, have programs was literally designed to disrupt and neutralize black political movements. And I'm supposed to believe that the same organization now run by Trump appointees, now gutted of anyone who might challenge the status quo. I'm supposed to believe that they want justice for Nolan Wells?
She said Noel.
So,
well,
honey,
hold on. We got another one?
what do we do now? What do we do, y'all? I'm asking y'all, what do we do? What do we do when the coroner is corrupt? The sheriff is complicit. The FBI is compromised and the system is designed to bury our babies. We do what we always done. We become the investigators. We become the journalists. We become the justice system that they refuse to be. If you know something about Nolan Wells' case, if you were on that island, if you saw something, if you heard something, if you got screenshots, if you have messages, if you have video, you need to come forward. I'm sure people was out there recording and doing something. Not to the police, not to the FBI. Come forward to the family. If you got any intel,
Facts.
please take it to the family.
Coco said that's
take
why
it to Ben
black
Crump.
women
Do
are
not
so
take
fierce.
it to the
They
police
have
or the
to be.
FBI. Come
No
forward
lies
to
detected.
the
Gotta
Benjamin
protect their
Crump's
babies.
office. Come forward to the
It's
independent
hunting season out there,
investigators who are
man. It's
actually
always
trying to
has
find the
been.
truth. Because the independent autopsy is happening in Washington, D.C., away from Mississippi, away from Dr. Tracy Turner, away from the good old boy network that's been running this state since before any of us was born. And that autopsy, that independent autopsy, that's where the truth lives. That's where the evidence that hasn't been tampered with, that hasn't been embalmed away, that hasn't been undermined into oblivion. That's where it is.
That's facts,
That's
Grammy.
where it lives. And for the
Lisa,
families,
welcome in. Welcome to
the
hashtag. I'm
Wells
gonna say it.
families, the
Anthony
Reed
Nelson, welcome to
families,
hashtag. I'm gonna say it.
the Wilson family, the Wade family, every family that has been told accident or suicide and undetermined, when they know it was a murder, I need you to know that we see you, we hear you, we believe you, and we will not let your babies be forgotten. We will not let Dr. Tracy Turner keep doing this while her name being attached to every lie she has told. We will not let the sheriff keep hiding behind thorough investigation while he won't even call the family back. We will not let Trump mega FBI pretend they're here
That's
to
right,
help
Christy.
when
Justice for all.
we know what they're really here to do.
Mr. Cigar, welcome in.
And
hey,
to
I just
every
called.
black parent,
Got me an order of cigar. I
every
gotta pick
black
it up.
teenager, Every black person who watched this and felt that cold grip of fear that this could be my child, I need you to hear me. We have got to start having different conversations about who we call friends, about where we go, about what safe means when you're the only one, about what trust means when the system has never been trustworthy.
True. True.
I'm not saying
Real
don't
spills.
live your life. I'm not saying don't go on trips, don't have fun, don't be young and be free and beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying,
Discernment is key, y'all.
what I'm saying, know where you are. Know who you're with. Know that in Mississippi in 2026, a black teenager on a remote island with white friends is not just a story about a drowning. It's a story about a system that has been killing us for centuries and
Simply
calling it
Kim,
something
welcome in,
else.
bestie.
And we are done calling it something else. We are done letting them rename our murders. We are done letting them bury our evidence and embalming our truth and undetermined our lives into the statistics. Nolan Wales deserved better. Trey Reeds deserved better. Every single one of them deserved better than the medical examiner who couldn't find homicide in a body that was screaming it. Deserved better than a sheriff who declared no foul play before looking. Deserved better than the FBI that steps in to cover up and not solve nothing.
Amen, Simply
And
Kim.
we are going to make sure they get it. Not by trusting the system, but by becoming the system they fear. The system of
Talk about
witnesses,
it.
the system of truth tellers, the system of people who will not forget, not forgive, and will not move on until justice is not just a word, but a reality. Honey, this is Honey Static Media. I'm Gigi, and I'm not done with this story. I will not be done with this story until Dr. Tracy is investigated, until every case she's ever touched is reviewed, until Nolan Wales' family gets the truth they've been screaming for. I'm going to ask you all to like this video, comment, share. Not for me, for Nolan. For every name I named tonight, for every name I couldn't even name, for every family that has been told accident when they know it was murder.
Coco said Gigi for president.
Hey,
she got my vote.
Arm
for
yourself
sure.
with the
For
truth.
sure.
And when they tell you to trust the system, the coroner, the sheriff,
Man,
the FBI, you look them in the eye and you say, I've seen what your trust looks like. And it looks like a body that wasn't waterlogged being called a drowning. It looks like a 13-year-old being embalmed without permission. It looks like undetermined when the truth is homicide. Your trust is a weapon. And we are done being disarmed.
You know, if you could get her, man, hold on. Hey, I'm bro, I said I'd call you back. Call me back. I'm in the middle of the show. Look, tell Sean and Chris this right here. They can pay me half and then give me the other half when I get there. But if they keep on, They're gonna have to send me the whole thing up front. All right, come on, man. You know how I get down. I do good business. I expect good business. All right. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. What was I about to say? Man, told him to call me. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. If you take her, Jasmine Crockett, um, what's the other one's name? Is it AOC? I think that's her name. And Michelle Obama, and you put them on a team running for administration. Boy, look at here. We be ruling everything. All right. So y'all know how we do here. We do not gatekeep information. If you would like the link to the video that we just listened to, so you can listen to it in your entirety or at your leisure, please send myself, Jenny, or Lori a message, and we'll make sure that we get that link to you. So provide that link to you, so that way you can go back and listen to it again. And if there's anything that you need, that you could take from it while you're trying to be the voice for Nolan as well, we would definitely oblige that for you. Allison, my bestie. Okay, I got you. I'll have that to you in a few minutes. But a couple of things I want to say or talk about before we get up out of here, y'all. What time is it? All right. So while we were just in the middle of our show, this came across the wire, and I'm gonna share it with y'all. I haven't had a chance to check into it all the way, but it says that a new judge has been assigned to the Carmelo Anthony case. Now, not the case. I think this. Yeah. So this is the case of having his previous judge, John Roach, recused. So it says, case file update: new judge assigned to Carmelo Anthony case. A new court filing shows that senior judge Sid L. Harley, I guess I'm pronouncing that right, Harle. We're gonna call him Harley, has been assigned to handle the motion to recuse Judge John Roach in the criminal case against Carmelo Sincere Anthony. Now, here's what I'm gonna say: as good of news that is, I think I said that right. I think I said it right. Sounds like it might be right. I don't know, but as good as that is, we still can't ease up. All right, it's still a YT man from Texas, and look, YT really ain't got nothing to do with it, because how many of y'all know our own kind of throw us under the bus too? So, but I'm just saying, it's a YT man from Texas, but he's from San Antonio. He's from San Antonio, so hopefully that works in Carmelo Anthony's favor. Hopefully he does get a just trial. We can. I said hopefully, prayfully. We're gonna need prayer on that, y'all. Prayfully he gets a new trial. Also, I haven't been doing this regularly like I should. And so I'm going to give you updates. Also, some things that's going on with Diddy. We kind of gotten away from covering Diddy. We have to get back to it at some point in time. But tomorrow's Thursday, right? So tomorrow is we won't be doing any of this tomorrow. Tomorrow is testimonial Thursday, so we'll be doing that. But you all are more than welcome and invited to come join us if you want to. All right. So now it says Sean Combs' projected prison release date has been moved up. It's what was that? May. This is May 7th, I guess. Hold on. The release date math adds up to Diddy moving out of Fort Dix next. Whoa. So they're saying next month. I'm sorry. Next month. Next month, y'all. All right. So he'll be released from Fort Dix next month if he stays the course on what he's doing in there. Um, it's my understanding that he'll be going to what they are considering like a halfway house. All right. And so that's Diddy. So, ladies, chastity belts, drink your own drink, keep your kids close to you. Goes on to say also, it's another one. Sean Diddy Combs sells waterfront Star Island mansion for $55 million. Uh, Incarcerated former hip hop mogul still owns the state next door. To be honest, I don't know if I would even want to buy any mansion that Diddy has lived in. I don't know. It seems like it's like a bad omen over there. I just wouldn't want to do it. That's just me personally. All right. Now, the Cheddar Color Code leader, okay, E. Jean Carroll collects 5.6 million from the Cheddar Color Code leader 3 years after jury find Perez liable for sexual abuse and defamation. All right, that's good. That's a victory. Coco said, "Lock down the baby oil." Yeah, look, everybody go get your baby oil that you're gonna need now, because once he get out, they're not gonna be available no more. He said the floors are probably slippery. Can you imagine that? The real estate agent comes, tries to show you the mansion. Y'all walk in, everybody go skating. Oh, sis said, when does he register? That's a good question because they're not mentioning that, and you would think that they would. His money will probably buy him out of it, like the tangerine, temper tantrum throwing toddler. Okay, it says in the matters of John Doe, the Sean John supplier, versus Combs and John Doe, and it says the White Party DJ versus Combs. After losing their bids to proceed anonymously, Barry and Matthew Belsom refiled in their true names. So what they lost, the judge granted Diddy. He sided with Diddy and said that look, these people got to use their name. They can't say they're John Doe no more. If they're gonna file a lawsuit, they got to use their real name. Now, usually when this happens, yeah, you're right, Grammy. Yeah, he does. Usually when this happens, you have people that are scared or get afraid, and so they don't use their real names, their government names. Why? Why is that, Mr. Breaking News G Smooth? Well, even though he's incarcerated right now, he still has hitters out here on the street that's free and active and can roam around. And what they'll do is they'll go and they will intimidate people that's filing lawsuits against him and try to make them basically recuse that lawsuit or suspend the lawsuit, right? And so people don't want to use their name because they get afraid that they might have to face some type of repercussion for filing these lawsuits against them. But these two was like, forget about it. All right, if we got to put our name on it, cool, we're gonna do it. He still did what he said. What we said he done. I'm trying to see if it lets me see what the cases is. It doesn't. It just says all the companies that he owns. They're listed on there. I don't think I got no more. Yeah, so it's not telling me exactly what the lawsuit entails, but okay, what's today's date? So 2 days ago, it says breaking news: President. I'm sorry, I lied. He ain't even that. It says breaking news: the Cheddar Color Coat leader may be in major trouble after rapper Boosie sues over failed pardon. All right, then, boo boo, Boosie, but hey, you know, fabricated freestyle. Former NFL offensive player Colin Kaepernick call or says camel face is full of feces. Hmm. Says camel face's Colin Kaepernick freestyle isn't fact. No, non disparagement sign. Listen, camel face is almost 60 years old. I know, right, Coco? Shout out to Boosie. That's a cool dude, man. I told you, we met him in the parking lot of Home Depot. I mean, he cool. He cool. I'm sure he has issues like everybody else, but he was cool to me that day. We ain't had no issues. You know, uh, two new lawsuits filed by Tyrone Blackburn accusing Complex and the source of defamation for their false assertion that Blackburn was ordered to pay $76,000 in fees rather than a $5,000 sanction for improper AI use in Jake's versus Youngblood. When they say Jake, are they talking about have you ever been swallowed? Have you ever been swallowed up, Jake? Let's see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're talking about TD Cakes. They're talking about TD Cakes. So, all right, that entails him. Is that it? That might be all the news. Security breach causes chaos. Delay start of final Camel Face concert at Yankee Stadium. I heard about that. All right, yeah. So that's pretty much that. That's what's going on the news front. We haven't been keeping up with it like that, but that's what's happening. That's what's going down on that end. Hey, thank y'all for joining us for another episode of hashtag I'm gonna say it. Remember, your presence is a gift to my moderators and it's a gift that we are eternally grateful for. You could be anywhere else on this platform or on any other platform, but yet you chose to hang out with us, and so we appreciate that. You know, it takes a village. What we do, it takes a village, and so we appreciate you guys doing that. Thank you for all the gifts that was sent. Thank you for those who sent the heart me's and checked in. Remember, always do that. Send your heart me's when you're gonna hang out with somebody. Send your heart me. Click that orange heart. Get your heart me. Go back and do your task list. That way you get points. You see what I'm saying? That lets this platform know, hey, I am engaging. And then anytime you post out content and stuff, if they see you engaging, then they'll try to work with you, put your stuff out. Coco says, see you next time, Buddy Bear. Thank you. Oh, I love you so much. Thank you for your effort. Thank you for joining. It was good seeing your face in here. I love it. I love your videos too. I checked them out last night. I love them. I love them. I love your energy. Please keep that. Please keep that energy, man. That's what's needed. That's what's needed in this days and times right now. We need positive energy for sure. For sure. So I'll be checking on you. You know. Christy, I love you to life, baby. Thank you so much. I love you too. And for real, we gonna work on your here's what I need you to do. I know you said you want to start your own podcast. I need you to get started on your name, get started on the title of your show. Build your brand, baby girl. So if you got a logo, get that logo out. If you don't have a logo, you need to let me know. I got somebody that can do it. I'll let y'all. I'll find out how. Send me what you want first, and then I'll send it to him, and I'll let you know what he's charging for that. And that goes for anybody. Listen, that goes for anybody. I don't care if you're doing podcasts, if you got any type of business that you're doing on your own. I don't care what it is. If you need a logo for your company, if you need a logo for your show, if you need a logo for your business or your team or anything, message me and let me know. I got a young man that is supreme at doing this stuff. All right? And I want to make sure, look, he could be out there in the streets of Atlanta getting in trouble. But all he trying to do is help. That's what he do. And I try to help him. He does work with me. When I'm doing shirts, he helps me on that. If I ever need anything as far as from a artistical standpoint, he helps me out. And I trust him. I wouldn't recommend y'all to anybody that I didn't do business with myself. All right, just letting y'all know. You got a thought in your head. Look, I want to start this business, but I don't have anything catchy. All we need is a name of your company, an idea of what you kind of want. I'll send it to Yanni and let him work. I just be amazed at what he come up with. All right. So thank y'all for joining us. Like I said, thank you for joining us. Tomorrow, please come back. You definitely invited back. But tomorrow, y'all, we switch things up on Thursdays. I think we got almost like 50 to 60 new viewers. And what we call y'all is our family. All right? It's extended family. On here, it'll say your fan club or your fan club has reached it. We don't, man, nobody's no fan. I ain't in pro wrestling no more. We ain't got no fan. Okay? We have fam. We have family members. Okay? So that's what we consider you all. We got some new ones that's coming in, and I see they're coming back. I love that. Listen, if there's anything that you like for us to talk about, please, we'll do it. We just got to know about it, and we have to do some research on it. because we want to make sure we present stuff in not only in the proper manner, in a truthful manner, but also in a classy manner. You see what I'm saying? We're not ratchet on here. We don't do all that. So we'll definitely let us know, and we'll try to make that happen. Some things we won't be able to do. Something we just won't touch. And it's no shade to you or no disrespect to you, but it may be too personal, or we know that this platform is not going to let us bring it to y'all or present it like it needs to be presented. Okay. And in that case, we usually do lives over on YouTube. So for those of you that are in here, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, go on YouTube, search G Smooth 404 and hit subscribe. That way you'll be notified when we posting videos up or when we're going live on there. All right, and we have other past shows that we've done on there. You can see some wrestling matches a few of the wrestling matches, of course. A lot of them I've lost. I don't have, but you can see a few wrestling matches on there as well. Be careful what you watch though on there, because in some matches I do get crazy. So be careful. Uh, Tomorrow we do what we call Testimonial Thursdays. On Testimonial Thursday, we actually listen to people who've had NDEs. What NDE stands for is near death experiences. And what they tell us is what they experienced during the time that they were clinically rendered dead. Things that they saw, things they experienced, things that, stuff like that. So I'm going to be honest with you. Thursday is one of my favorite. Don't get me wrong. I love doing this. But I really, really love Testimonial Thursdays. And so if it for some people it's not your cup of tea, and if it's not, that's fine. But if it is, come here. We got you. All right, Coco, don't tell me nothing now. You don't be here. I'm gonna be right here during the show messaging you like this. You said you was gonna come. you know? All right. All right, Coco. I'll be looking for you. So tomorrow, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Testimonial Thursdays. All right. Join us for that. Listen, you all be safe out there. Hey, it's free to love, y'all. It's free to love. Do that. Do that, okay? Look out for each other. We've got to, y'all. We are in the last days of time. I don't care how many people try to pretend like God ain't real and Jesus ain't real. Listen, he's showing you every day. What we're living right now is already written about in the good book. So there's no reason to sit here and try to deny it. So just care for each other, man. Compassion is free. When God said love thy neighbor, like I say, he said love thy neighbor. He didn't put a race, color, or creed in front of that neighbor. So that lets me know he meant all nationalities, everybody. And just to humble everybody for a minute, let him put this in perspective. Jesus, who done no wrong on earth to nobody, even willed off temptation in the Garden of Gethsemane. Even he washed people's feet. I know. Some of y'all saying, and I can see it right now. I see ladies looking at me right now on the platform like this.
Child, I ain't touching nobody's feet. That was Jesus. Jesus did. So if Jesus already did it, why do I gotta do it? I am not touching nobody's feet.
I get it. I totally get it. All right, but I'm just saying. I don't mean physically do that, but I'm just saying he humbled himself and to do that. And look how grand he is. Look what he means. Look who he is. Look what he stands for. If he can do it, if he can humble himself to doing that, we can do that. Another thing, and I promise I'm gonna let y'all go after this. Another thing, if he can forgive us for all of the wrongs that we do, who are we not to forgive people for doing wrong to us? Now, hold on. Stop, ladies. God, And I see you. I see my guys in here too. Look, I see them in the back. They like this right here.
Shit, I wish a nigga would, man. I ain't forgiving that nigga for nothing. He should have gave me back my $20. I wasn't slow when I let him borrow it, but he's slow paying it back. I ain't forgiving him for nothing.
Calm down. Calm down. Listen. Forgive him. Forgive him. But you don't have to be a doormat and allow him to run over you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying forgive. See, when you forgive, then mentally you can move on. But when you sitting there holding on to grudges and stuff, man, you really doing yourself a disservice. You are subjecting yourself to an emotional prison on your own. They over there living their best life. They don't even care. They are, hey, I don't care nothing about his thing. I don't care. She can kiss my, and I don't care. I'm gonna live my best life. That's how they are. And you over there just mad, like, hey, look at her. She going out there eating all these places, and she ain't gave me no money. And where her kids at? I mean, she need to be home with her kids. Yeah, let's stop that. Let's stop that, yo. Let's forget that. Just forgive them, move on, and know that if they come back to you and you in a position and they need help, if you're in a position to help, go ahead and help. If they're not, if you're not, don't help. If you know that they're using it for something bad, prime example, I have a tag team partner of mine, a former tag team partner of mine in wrestling. He worked at a convenience store. He got pew-pewed in the face by a guy that was trying to rob the store. And from that, he likes painkiller right now. You see what I'm saying? And I've loaned him money. He said he's gonna pay it back, and he didn't. But what I found out was what he told me he needed the money for the probation. It wasn't the probation that he needed it for. It was for that fix. And so I will no longer send him money. Not because I don't love him. I love him. But I love him and his kids enough not to help supply that. Their mother already done unalived herself on D-Rugs. I'm not gonna let my little brother do that. And it's not my little brother that comes in here, y'all. So don't get on Matthew. Not him. It's not him. All right. Okay. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Remember, tomorrow, 10 a.m. in the morning, Testimonial Thursdays. Be here. I've been your self-proclaimed favorite news reporter, Mr. Breaking News, signing off from the newsroom. Shout out to my moderators, by the way. I didn't give it up to y'all. You know I love y'all. Great job again today. You could be anything in the world. Be somebody. But above all else, be a child of God. I love y'all to life. Peace and blessings to you and yours.